Greetings, it is I, Tantus Naravan Dracovin, Lord and Emperor of the Dracovin Empire, and welcome. It is time to continue our discussion on Werewolf the Apocalypse in the World of Darkness. Where I last left off, I was talking about the settings and effectively what you need to know when you're playing a werewolf character. Today, I'm going to introduce you to the 13 tribes. Well, most of them. I'm not going to go over all of them today. In the next episode, I'll finish up talking about them, of course. But let's start talking about some of these 13 tribes. The major remaining bloodlines of the werewolves that are left in this modern day and age. The first off is the Black Furies. These are the guardians of the wild. They have their origins in ancient Greece and many legends are based upon them. These Avengers of the Wild are mostly female. Almost all of them are. And they are the staunchest worshippers of the wild while protecting the wilderness. They will actually emerge from their locations deep within the wild to do battle against those that would threaten their dwindling magical places in the world. The Bone Gnawers are the lowest in the kind of totem pole when it comes to the tribes. They live in the slums and streets of urban areas, looking almost like jackals in their nature. They are shown no respect or any kind of like by any of the other tribes and are sort of just passed off. But they're the ultimate survivors and perhaps the most cunning of all the tribes. They're pragmatic and cynical, and they have learned to get rid of that, the higher than mighty goals of all the other Garu tribes. They've gotten rid of a lot of that pride that they have. And without it, they're easily able to survive in such urban places. Lofty ideals don't keep you alive. The Children of Gaia are the most connected with the collective will of the planet and prefer to become harmonious and get along with basically everything in existence. This doesn't mean that they're not ready to show the mercilessness of nature if they need to. The Fianna are the wordsmiths of the Garu society and the preservers of their history. They are the masters of language. They are the most creative of all the Garu and prefer to spend their days with wordplay, songs, and being just generally creative. But they are descendants of dire wolves, and when angered, are very more than willing to show their rage, being among the most savage and relentless. The Get of Fenris are said to be willing to let a worm demon eat them, just so they could rip out its tongue and kill both of them as they both die. They are the Berserkers. They are the harbingers of war and sedition when it comes to the battle against the worm. Their berserking shock troopers are always the first line jumping into battle. Their bloodlust and disregard for their own safety is legendary among the other tribes, and few understand how they can push themselves so quickly into battle this way. Running headlong into battle, heedlessly ignoring their own health, howling at their foes. Glasswalkers are quirky Garu who have adapted to the urban landscape. They're purveyors of technology and wealth. They've accepted the city landscape and understand how to use it. Many will call them sort of suspicious thugs, though, at least behind their backs, but few would say it to their faces, because they know not to mess with them. They have resources that they could use against you. Resources much more beyond just battling tooth and claw. The Red Talons are entirely lupus, and see the elimination of the Hamid as the only way in order to save Gaia from the pool of the worm that is currently there. They are the most in touch with the wild side of the Garu and understand the nature of their wilderness deep within them. And in doing so, they know some secrets of the wilderness that many Garu have forgotten. Shadow Lords are cold, ruthless, dark warriors, but also quite vengeful. They are some of the most battle-worthy and courageous when it comes to fighting, but they also believe in conquest and ambition, and following it where it should lead. So though they are great and powerful warriors, very cunning when it comes to battling it out, they also have this idealism that they should lead both Garu and humans, and be controlling them. They have a powerful arrogance to them, though they resist also admitting that amongst all the other tribes, the current ones, they're the ones that has the most of their members fall to the worm, especially for much of this attitude that they have. The pool of power. It can be strong. Silent Striders are a tribe of nomadic werewolves that wander from cairn to cairn, never truly settling in one place. But they are also the experts of both the mortal and the spirit world, having a massive knowledge of both of those and understanding of those. But they are very laconic, very quiet, and very little is known of them, but they know a lot about what else is going on. So you might not notice one or not know much about him, but he probably knows a lot about you. When we talk about Silverfangs, we have to talk about the fact that virtuosos, when they tell tales of heroes and sages, they're talking about Silverfangs more than often. They're the most noble of clans, so they're the top of the hierarchy when it comes to that, but they're also the clan on the most decline. No one knows why, but less and less children of them are being born every year. More and more of them are dissipating. They're disappearing. And some that are born are tainted with madness. They are pure and beautiful on the outside, but ugly and disfigured upon the inside, so to say. Stargazers are contemplative wanderers, exploring the world looking for, basically, enlightenment. They are the most in tune with the inner being, and have charged themselves with protecting mortals from the taint of the worm. In this respect, they are unmatched, performing lupine martial disciplines and other very powerful feats that other Garou cannot even comprehend to do. So that's it for today. I introduced you to 11 of the 13 tribes. I told you a little bit about them, a little bit about what it means to be one of those members, and a little bit about information about how that tribe works. In the next episode, I'm going to finish up with the last 2 tribes. Move into talking about the lost tribes, those that have fallen from the wayside and are now extinct. And then talk about, of course, Ronin, those that are now shunned from Garou society. So if any questions, comments, anything you want to say, anything you think I left out, please leave in the comments below. Please like, share, and of course subscribe. It's just for the channel, the empire, and the work I do. If you want to show some more extra support, you can always check out my Patreon, linked in the description below. But regardless, until the next time, I bid you farewell.